And right now, our country is going to hell. But under Biden, Pelosi, and the radical Dems, it's back to America last. They actually say it's America last, and that's what it is. I got gasoline for cars. I got it down to $1.87 a gallon. All you could buy, no lines, no nothing. Now they have it to $5, $6, $7, $8, and it's going higher. Get used to it. I rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability. We don't even like talking about it, but I rebuilt our nuclear capability. We had bombs and we had explosives. Nobody even knew if it worked. And I don't like talking about it, but we have somebody that talks about it all the time, Putin. And we have nobody that understands what's happening. It's a very sad situation. We've never been in this position before. But we created something very special. Not in 75 years since the Air Force, we created Space Force. Very important. It's doing great. So we created a great, new, beautiful military, and they gave $85 billion of it away to the Taliban. Thank you very much, including 700,000 machine guns, rifles, and guns. How about that, JD? 700,000. What the hell? You know, they're one of the largest arms dealers now in the world. They sell everything that they took from us. They shouldn't have had 10 cents worth of equipment. They have our airplanes, our helicopters, our tanks, and 70,000. Think of that. I don't think there's a used truck lot or car lot anywhere in the world that has much more than 500 or 600 cars. You know, they say the inventory is full if you have 500 on the big ones. 70,000 trucks, 70,000 we gave them, many of them armor-plated. I was getting us safely out of Afghanistan while keeping Bagram. We were going to be out with dignity, with strength, with respect. They totally humiliated our nation with soldiers killed, 13 great soldiers, and nobody talks around all of the incredible soldiers that were so horrifically injured. You never even hear about it. I hear about it. No legs, no arms, just blown up, disgraceful. We didn't lose a soldier. I spoke to Abdul, the head of the Taliban. You didn't lose a soldier. In 18 months, not one, until that horrible day, the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, I feel. And they left hostages behind. They left the equipment, but they left hostages, many, many hostages behind. We created the safest border in the history of our country. They created the most unsafe border, perhaps, anywhere in the world. I don't think there's a border in the world that looks like that. Third world nations have better borders than we do right now. We have no idea from where they come. Last month, 127 different countries were represented by illegal aliens coming into our country. Many prisons are emptied into our country. They're getting rid of their prison population. Isn't that wonderful? We had the safest border, think of it, the safest border, 3 weeks away from completing the wall, which I assume they would have done very quickly. We had 2.5 years of litigation before we could start the wall. We did a wall in record time. 2.5 years, we had to win 11 different cases, many brought by Congress, Democrats in Congress. But we did an amazing job. We had the safest border in the history, recorded history of our country. Now we have the worst border in the recorded history. We did a great job with the drugs coming through, human traffickers. We had virtually no inflation. They have the highest inflation in 47 years and going much, much higher, which is costing families $6,000 a year. That's bigger than any tax increase ever proposed. And speaking of tax increases, we cut taxes more than any president in the history of the United States. Biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And they intend to give the largest tax hike in the history of our country so they can do the Green New Deal and waste a lot of your money.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.